Hi, if you're watching, welcome to another episode of Inside Campus, the show that takes you inside the Lafayette College men's soccer program. I am Adam Bramson, and I'm joined, as always, by head men's soccer coach Dennis Bohn.
Adam, always a pleasure. Appreciate your time and excited to talk about what's going on and what we're thinking about and doing in the future.
Great. All right, so let's just jump right in. There were a lot of exciting elements of this season, one of them being the first season in a new stadium. So tell us what that was like. Tell us about the atmosphere, the energy, seeing all that come together finally. The people want to know.
No, it was amazing. I mean, from the beginning, the process of the vision with Peter Gummeson, starting, kind of being the alum who kickstarted the project, to all the other alums and people that donated to the project to get the planning piece of it done and building it and getting it ready for August, was a good experience for me and an amazing process. But to finally be able to play a game in August and open our season in the stadium with our entire freshman class there as part of orientation was an amazing night and an amazing kind of just environment. And then to play in the stadium all season and see our players and fans and parents and alumni enjoy the new stadium, was just everything we could imagine and more. And then it was kind of ironic that our last game of the season at Burger Field, Oak Stadium, Gummeson Grounds, was a playoff game against American, and winning it in PKs with all the students behind the goal and the terrace that we built for the fans and the students to stand in and sit in. Just kind of just brought it all together, and to win that match and then advance in the playoffs, was just an amazing kind of start of the season to end of the season with the new stadium.
Yeah, no, it sounds like an incredible atmosphere. Tell me a little bit about, that feeling of pride. I mean, you've been at Lafayette for over decades now, right?
Yeah,
About
25th year here, yes.
25th year. Um, and to see this all come together, I mean, the building of the stadium was not an overnight process as well either. It took a lot of time, took a lot of sweat and money and support from a lot of people. It's got to be just a great moment seeing it come together on the opening day of the season, and being able to finally play in your very own stadium. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple benchmarks, I think, in the history of Lafayette soccer, um, that will always stand out, when you write the history book of Lafayette soccer, and no doubt August of 2023 and the opening of that stadium is right there at the top of the list. So, outside of maybe winning the championships that I was fortunate to be a part of, probably that day, was probably, my most proud moment. So, it's something that we'll, as a program, be able to be proud of, and something we can build upon in the future. And again, most importantly, I think something that gives our current players a great positive playing experience, and our fans, parents, and alumni a great kind of viewing experience, and something that anybody associated with not just Lafayette soccer, but Lafayette College can be super proud of.
Well, that's great to hear. I'm super proud of the program that was all able to come together. Tell us a little bit about the fall season and how everything shaped out for the team this year.
Yeah, it was a little bit of what you call, I guess, a roller coaster at times. We started out pretty fast and had some really positive results early in the season, and some individual kind of performances. Hal Lombard, who ended up being the leading scorer in the conference and scoring 10 goals, had a hat trick early on against Siena on the road, which was just exciting. And just we're doing a lot of positive things. Then we went on a little bit of a losing streak. We had a 3-game losing streak. Lost our first Patriot League game as one of those 3 matches. And then kind of after those 3 games, we just sat down as a group and as a team in the locker room and just said, hey, you know, let's move forward. Let's not dwell on the negativity of what just occurred maybe over the last 7 days. And the next match was at Lehigh. And so we went down the road and got a 1-0 result. And then things then spiraled and went into more positive directions. So we ultimately were able to accomplish our goal of hosting a Patriot League playoff game. We came in third place, at the end of the regular season. As I mentioned earlier, beat American in PKs at home, went on the road against a really talented, as always, Loyola team, and won a double overtime match against Loyola, and then we're able to advance to the Patriot League Finals for the third time in 5 years. So unfortunately, didn't get the ultimate result we wanted of winning the championship, and that's what our number one goal is every season. But outside of that, we pretty much accomplished every other goal that our program sets for ourselves on an annual basis. Winning record overall, winning record in the Patriot League, winning record in our non-conference games, hosting a Patriot League playoff game, and then again getting to the championship game.
There's a lot of great things there that you can take as momentum going into the next season as well. This roster, very talented roster, very deep roster, and had a number of seniors on the roster, both seniors and super seniors, as you like to call them, guys who were able to stick around for another season. You mentioned Hale earlier and his scoring prowess. Walk me through some of these other impressive seniors and what they meant to the program and the legacy they left.
Yeah, I mean, it is the last super senior, not the last super senior group, but one of our super senior groups. Actually, I guess these are the last guys that played with you way back when you were on the team.
Feels like a century ago. But yes, yes.
But yeah, so Hal Lombard and David Mizrahi both were seniors for us and both made all conference. David was one of the top defenders in the league, and in my opinion, Hal was the top attacker in the conference. Also in that kind of class of guys that went through COVID and stayed an extra year were Jack Needham and Benji Grossi. Both of those guys started for us and had tremendous senior years as well. So the four of those guys, no doubt, left a huge legacy. But we also had four other seniors that are still on campus and will be graduating in May. Brendan Tomlinson, Tennyson Wank, Eddie Grant, and Eric Ponyman. And so all eight of those guys in their own ways were tremendous for our program and will all leave a great legacy, both on and off the field in regards to how we performed during their careers, but also culturally how our program has grown since the time that they first arrived.
Great. Well, it feels crazy to see, Hale and David and Benji and Jack, you know, still playing, but they left it all out there for, however many years they were there as a super senior. And it's great to see everything they did there at the program, like watching them grow up and watching them grow. Um, yeah, I remember telling Hale his freshman year, you are going to score a lot of goals at Lafayette. You are going to run this conference. And I was pretty right. So, yeah, it was great to see how their careers formed. And, we're wishing them the best with whatever they do next.
Yeah, well, he did have an amazing career. All those guys did, but Hal individually was our captain and again leading goal scorer in the Patriot League, and just had an amazing start to finish. I believe his freshman year when you were on the team, he started as a freshman in the championship game, and then as a senior again started and was a leader in a championship game. So he's definitely one of the most special players that I've had the opportunity to coach.
Incredible career, and hats off to all of them. So, with every senior class that leaves, there's a new class of recruits that come in, and you have an exciting class of recruits coming to Lafayette next year. Should we dive in and talk about them?
Yeah, we're graduating eight and we're bringing in eight. So, everybody else decided in this world of the transfer portal has decided that they want to stay here and be part of the Lafayette soccer, which is exciting. And I think really positive for our alumni and fans to know that, everybody that was on the team that has eligibility left is coming back. So we're losing eight, but yes, we are bringing in eight new first years.
Amazing. Well, let's dive into this class. The first one we got listed out here is Anthony Durling. Tell me a little bit about Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony is a lefty, so he's one of our what we call specialty positions, and so he's an attacking left back from New Jersey, Steinert High School in Central Jersey. Plays for Match Fit at the club level. High school had a tremendous senior year. Played centrally in the midfield, but we recruited him from the club scene, and there he is in a left back. So, we think he's going to get a chance to come in, play right away. And will allow us to continue to what we like to do tactically, which is attack with our outside backs. And his left foot is pretty special and something that unfortunately he can't coach, but he'll be bringing it to the program when he arrives in August.
You always need at least one lefty in the class, so I'm glad you found out Anthony. This next player on the list, I believe, was a teammate of Anthony's. Tell me a little bit about Cade Maglione.
Yeah, Cade plays on Match Fit along with Anthony, so we were able to every time we were out on the road recruiting, we could see the two of them together, and we were able to bring them here to Easton. Cade is from the same Central Jersey area. Went to Allentown High School, not Allentown here in the Lehigh Valley, but Allentown in New Jersey, and he's a central midfielder. In our opinion, as a coaching staff, we feel like maybe the most talented central midfielder in the state of New Jersey. Just a workhorse, box to box, super talented central player that can defend and wins balls and wins tackles, can switch to the point of attack, can get into the attacking third and create chances and goals. And so just really, really excited to bring Cade in and do, and I believe that at the Patriot League level and Division I level, he's prepared and ready to step on the field day one.
Awesome. And love the built-in chemistry with Anthony already. That's great. Tell me a little bit about Jackson Vajda.
Yeah, Jackson's a local kid. We haven't recruited or brought in too many players from the Lehigh Valley in my career, but Jackson might be the best. Not just the best that in our class, but the best in the history of the Lehigh Valley. He broke the scoring record with 130 some goals in his career at Northampton High School. He plays for Hex PA Dominion. But the funny thing is we recruited him as a defender, and at the club level, he plays defense. So even though he's one of the all-time greatest high school players in the history of the Lehigh Valley, as an attacker and a goal scorer, he'll most likely be playing in the back for us. So he's versatile enough to play outside back as well as central defender. We'll hopefully be getting some goals from him on set pieces, and we maybe will play him in his career up top. But right now, we're planning on bringing him into the program next year as a first year to compete for playing time in the back.
Nice. Well, listen, if he scored 130 goals in high school, I'm sure he can put some in college as well. So
Yeah, well, he's a super competitive, athletic, tough kid, and just brings a lot to the program, both on and off the field. But is a really special recruit for us, especially being a local kid. It's awesome to bring in a kid from the Lehigh Valley here to Lafayette.
nice. Always great to recruit locally. Tell me a little bit more about Jimmy Melnick.
Yeah, Jimmy's a Philly kid, so always got to bring in lefties, and I feel like coming from being from Philadelphia myself, always got to and South Jersey, always got to bring in Philly and South Jersey guys. And so Jimmy's old school Philly kid, kind of reminds me a little bit of Sean Peckham a couple years ago that played for us. Just a tough kid, but really super technical. Can play a variety of positions: midfield, center back, outside back. Uh, and just brings again that technical quality that we're looking for, but also a competitiveness and a toughness that you would think from a Philadelphia kid. He's on Jackson's club team, Hex PA Dominion, and goes to Penn Charter High School in Philly, and so has a great pedigree at both the high school level and the club level, and is a guy that we're really excited about.
Staying local with our next player and also another teammate of some guys you mentioned. Tell me a little bit more about Riley Martin.
Yep, Riley's another guy from the PA Dominion Hex team, which is one of the best club teams at their age group in the country, coached by Mike Gorney. So I want to give Coach Gorney a shout out. He's been one of the best coaches in the state of Pennsylvania, if not the country, at the youth level for decades. And so Riley comes from that program and that team, and he's the attacking guy out of that group. So, Jackson kind of plays in the back, Jimmy plays in the back and sometimes in the midfield, and then Riley's an attacker, can play centrally up front as well as out wide. Went to Springfield High School in PA and got a ton of accolades and one of the leading goal scorers in Southeastern PA. And his record there, his high school team's record there, his junior and senior year were just tremendous. Big part to Riley's performance. And so, excited that all three of those guys know each other, have a relationship, play together, but they all bring a unique quality to Lafayette. And Riley is no doubt a goal scorer and a guy that's going to help us in the box area and in the final third.
We've talked about a collection of Philly guys. Let's go back to New Jersey. Tell me a little bit more about Gabe Faust.
Yeah, Gabe is from South Jersey, so Cade and Anthony were Central Jersey, and now Gabe fills the void there in South Jersey. A lot of recruiting in our backyard this year, and so Gabe is just an amazing athlete. His dad actually played professional hockey, and so kind of Gabe has his dad's built. We saw him first as a midfielder defender, but he then transitioned to the forward position in the last 12 to 18 months and is thriving. So we really went hot after him after he started playing up top and scoring goals. He's a target forward, left-footed, powerful, strong, can also has great mobility in and around the box area, pressures, works. And so, we think he plays for MLS Next team, Real New Jersey, out of South Jersey. He's from Cherry Hill West High School and is a guy that we know physically is ready to play Division I right away, but we also think technically and talent-wise can help us from day one.
All right, if there's one thing I love about this recruiting class, it's the fact that you're able to recruit from all over. I'm talking South Jersey, West Jersey, East Jersey, and North New Jersey. Tell me a little bit about Joseph Lee.
Well, it is a joke that New Jersey shouldn't just be one state because there is a big difference between the people in South Jersey, Central Jersey, and North Jersey. And we did not want to discriminate against North Jersey. So Joe Lee is from Bergen County, goes to Bergen Catholic, which is one of the premier high school programs in the entire state. Played for Cedar Stars Bergen at the club level, is a defender. Gives us great versatility, which is what our staff really looks for in defenders. Can play centrally, can play out wide as an outside back, and a center back, like I said. So just a strong player, great in the air, can get forward from the outside back position, technically brings a lot to the table, but is a leader. Played for a good club team, played for a good high school team, is always one of the best players on both of those teams. And it's just somebody we're really excited to fill maybe some of the voids that David and Jack Needham and some of the seniors left in the back line.
Great. I'm glad to hear that North Jersey is represented this time around. We need that Joseph Lee representation. Very nice.
No doubt, no doubt.
All right, so the last name on this list is a little bit familiar to me. I'm not sure if I know him. You might know him pretty well. Tell me a little bit about Cam Bohn.
Yep. So fortunate that my son is going to has decided and is going to come here to Lafayette and play for Lafayette soccer, and it's going to allow me to be his coach, I guess. So I've never coached him in my life in any sport, so this will be new, but I'm very confident it's going to be positive for everyone. Cam grew up around the program, following guys like you, and been shagging balls and been passionate and in love with Lafayette soccer since he was a baby, to be honest. And got the chance now to come here and play. Plays for LVU. Ironically, he plays club soccer for Lehigh Valley United for the assistant at Lehigh, Ryan Hess, and he played high school soccer at Notre Dame Green Pond, and his coach there was Trevor Koski, who is Dean Koski, the head coach at Lehigh's son. So even though he's been coached recently by a lot of Lehigh people, he's going to come here to Lafayette and play for our program. So he's an attacking player, can play out wide, can play centrally. With his basketball experience, is actually pretty good with his back to goal and posts up like a target forward, but also, has a work ethic that we are very excited about, and and I think a speed and a dynamic to get in behind defenses that'll bring something different to the roster.
There's anyone that knows Lafayette soccer, it is Cam Bohn. So it's a very cool full circle moment to see him join the team.
No doubt. Still one of his greatest moments in life, he always says, is being able to not have to go to school and go to Loyola when you and your teammates beat them in the playoffs and PKs and on that freezing night down in Baltimore. And so, he has memories like that I think make him truly passionate about Lafayette soccer, which I think will be contagious in the locker room as well.
Well, I'm glad his favorite memory is cutting class. Hopefully
No,
keep up that
see,
trend.
seeing you win, Adam, that's
Okay. Yeah. I know. I know. So in the past, you've stressed being able to recruit from your backyard. There's plenty of talented kids in the tri-state area, in New Jersey, in Philly. This entire class is comprised of kids from those areas. Um, Tell me a little bit, just like what you think of this class holistically, the fact that you're able to recruit all these guys fairly locally. Um, it's it's pretty impressive, and yeah, just tell me what you can expect from this class.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't need a goalie, but as far as positional, a very versatile, diverse group from the back to the midfield to the forwards to, as we mentioned, some lefties, some righties, some big guys, some smaller guys, like just a really amazing group that is going to cover a lot of bases for us. And my philosophy has always been we start in our backyard. I think from Easton, if you drew a 90-mile radius, we have some of the best soccer in the country here in Eastern New York, New Jersey, Eastern PA, Central PA. And so, as a coach, that's where I want to focus at the beginning of the recruiting process. And if we get the players we want and covet, then that's fine. We don't really need to go outside the area. A lot of times we go outside the area once maybe we feel like we aren't getting the top players locally. But we believe with these 8 guys, we truly got some of the best, if not the best players in New Jersey and Pennsylvania this year. And so, we couldn't be more excited.
It's great to hear. We're all excited to see what they bring to the program. Um, Being part of a Lafayette Tiger player, as most people who are watching this know, are aware that it's not just about what the team does on the field, and what they do off the field is equally as important. And I know in this past season that the program and you and the players participated in a number of things off the field. Tell me a little bit about those. Tell me about the the Earn Your Spots book club. Tell me about the lead council. Anything else that comes to mind that is really important and represents the program.
Yeah, I mean, some of these initiatives that we started a few years ago, we are committed to continue and build upon those initial first kind of years of doing them. We are continuing with our Earn Your Spots book club. So all of our players, every single player spends time in both of our local elementary schools to read to all of the students K through 5. So every single student in those 2 elementary schools meets and gets to spend time with a Lafayette men's soccer player every semester. And so we just in November went through all the different classes, got a chance to read a few different books. We get a chance to gift over 500 books to different kids in those age brackets. And it's something our players enjoy, something our players are actually now look forward to. And it's now something that's becoming a tradition. So the teachers, the administrators, the principals, and the students are all asking, all right, when are the Lafayette guys, soccer guys coming back? And so, it's been something that's really been beneficial, I think, for both parties, and something that's allowing our program to really connect with the community.
That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. So that's awesome. And our lead council is continuing to support our Lead the Way speaker series. This past fall, we had Noel Hightower, who actually is an Easton High School grad and coaches on the staff for the Golden State Warriors in the NBA. He came back and spoke to our team about his experiences through his time here in Easton, through college, and then working his way up the ranks in professional coaching at the NBA level. And so he had a lot of great advice and tips and things that he spoke to our players about just in general. But also his challenges, from a diversity standpoint of kind of getting his foot in the door and working his way up the ladder in coaching. So it was a tremendous experience, and it's something. The Lead the Way Speaker Series is something we're going to continue. Our league council is also mentoring all of our current, Black players basically on a semester by semester basis, and helping them get through their time here on campus, but also helping them with job opportunities, post grad and internships, in the summer. And so that's again something that we're really proud of. On top of the Earn Your Spots Book Club, we will this spring be playing a game at Cottingham Stadium, which is the local high school football stadium here in Easton, and we'll be playing Lehigh. So Coach Koski's kind enough to come over and allow that to be a fundraising game or a community game where we're going to do some fundraising for some different things in the Easton area, as well as invite all the elementary school students that we read to come and see our players play, but also bring a Lafayette game to the center of town for some of those citizens that maybe can't get out to Metzger for them to see a Division I soccer match. So something that we're love doing and something we're really excited about doing come this April.
That's incredible. I'm sure it'll be a big turnout at that game. Someone who I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't mention is honorary leopard Andrew Hummell. Can you give the people an update on how Andrew, our favorite leopard, is doing?
Andrew's doing amazing. I actually saw him yesterday. There was a Special Olympics event for basketball at Freedom High School, and I went down there with his dad, and he was shooting baskets and dribbling, and he's as energetic as ever. For those that may or may not know that followed, Andrew just fought off cancer for the second time. Not too long ago, we were all in the hospital, and thank you to many of you that are watching this video that donated to his family to help them during that process while he was back in the hospital. But when people talk about cancer research, Adam, they think like, oh, what is this? But cancer research led to something called T-cell procedure. Andrew went through this T-cell procedure at CHOP Hospital in Philadelphia, and a few months later, was cancer free. That's the second time he's fought off cancer, and now is in 8th grade. And as I said, is running around and came to all of our games in the fall, comes to all my Cam Bond's basketball games at Notre Dame, and is a big fan there as well. And so it's just amazing to see what he's been through, how he's fought it, and nobody's more inspirational in the world to me and to most of our players than Andrew Hummell.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. He's an incredible person, and I feel like I speak for the entire Lafayette family that we're so appreciative that the Hummels joined us and embraced us as much as they did, and we're so grateful to know Andrew and to be along with him for the ups and downs of his story. He's truly an inspiration. So if you're watching this, keep going, Andrew.
Oh man.
Plenty of other things to look forward to with the program. We're currently in the winter right now, gearing up for spring training. Tell me a little bit about any spring games you have and what we have to look forward to the rest of the semester.
Yeah, the guys are knee deep in winter training, winter season, so they're early mornings, weight room, training out on the turf. Got a full slate things, weekly yoga, weekly team meetings to work on, and have some outside speakers come in and talk to the guys about different things. So Monday through Friday, they're on a full schedule. They do get Saturdays off. Sundays, they actually play pickup every Sunday for a couple hours without the coaching staff per NCAA rules. But they're in the middle of what we again call our winter season. Won't be long before it's March and spring break. And then when we get back, we'll be back out to Metzger going through a full 6-week spring season, playing our 5 spring matches, and then kind of ending all of that hard work with that game at Cottingham Stadium here in Easton against Lehigh as our final spring game. So we're we're excited about how the group is progressing. Their attitude, their discipline has been tremendous the first couple of weeks of the winter season, and just a really an enjoyable group to be around. Like just really, really kind of in all my years, I love all my teams and love what I do, but sometimes certain groups are a little bit tough on certain days or a little moody or inconsistent. But this group is just enjoyable to be around. So consistent with their attitude, their effort, their positivity, and just really excited about the 2024 season.
Love to hear it. Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to this semester too, and a lot to look forward to in 2024. Tell me a little bit about your outlook for the fall. I mean, you achieved almost everything that you wanted to achieve this past season. We're right there at the hump, and we just gotta get over that last ladder. Tell me a little bit about what you expect going into the fall 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's cheesy, but we trust the process, like we just trust the process that we keep doing what we're doing. We do have to grow and evolve and change things to get better, which we're doing internally as a coaching staff and as players. But we also trust the process of what we do in regards to our training and our winter season, our spring season. And I believe in these players. I believe in the players that are coming in, and our goals never change, winning seasons, making the playoffs, hosting playoff games, and then ultimately winning a Patriot League championship. And for 2024, those expectations are the expectations of the expectations, and the standard, as they say in Steelers Nation, the standard is the standard. And, we're excited about where we are, and we're really optimistic about what's ahead of us here in 2024.
So many amazing things we mentioned on the call, the new stadium, this new class, all these off the field events as well. Obviously, we know that none of these things are possible without some sort of fundraising, some sort of money and support and help. Tell us a little bit about everything that goes into making the Lafayette soccer program work.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be able to do anything that we're discussing on this call if it wasn't for the support of our friends and alumni. So, thank you to everyone for their support for the stadium, for their annual fundraising, gifts to the program to allow us to recruit, to give all our current players what they need to be successful, and do some of these off the field initiatives as well. So, personally, from the head coach seat, I want to thank everyone that's donated. Urge people that haven't maybe given in 2024 yet or this fiscal cycle to please, continue to support us. I know many people are giving to the stadium, but we also need the annual gifts to keep the wheels turning, and to keep the engine running. So we look forward to hopefully continuing to get that support. But again, the thing that makes Lafayette soccer special is, yes, the results and the things we do on the field, but all the things that are going on behind the scenes with the support from the alumni and friends is truly, what makes us go and what makes us special.
Love to hear it. If you're watching, support, donate. Someone put a link right here. Well, that's the entire rundown. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Inside Campus, the only show that takes you inside the Lafayette College men's soccer program. I'm Adam Bramson, as always. Thank you, Coach Bohn, for joining. It's a great show.
Go Pards.
Go Pards.